Howdy, howdy. If you don't know me, my name is Colby and I lead the guys freshman group, new to Inside Out. What is up? Today we are wrapping up the final week of our series and we're going to be discussing the fear of being alone and the fear of being misunderstood. We may each experience these two fears in a varying degree, but the truth is we all face these fears pretty much every day. I know for me, dealing with being alone and being misunderstood was a battle that I fought all throughout my freshman year of high school. See, when I was 14 years old, my dad moved us from Saginaw, Texas, which is right outside of Fort Worth, to this little country hick town called Cleburne, Texas. Guys, I went from lifelong friends who knew me, understood me, and always spent every weekend with me, to a school full of strangers and weekends home all alone. When I made this move to this new high school at the start of my freshman year, I was terrified. Looking back, I realized that what I was really afraid of when moving to this new school where everyone was different than me was spending the next 4 years alone and not making any friends because no one understood who I was. The truth is, the fear of being alone or of being misunderstood is something that we all battle. Perhaps you're an extrovert, and the idea of being alone, the thought of never being able to go to another party with a bunch of people and loud music and crazy stuff happening, never doing that again might drive you crazy. You feel the need to have people in your life more strongly than the need to be understood. The introverts out there would say the exact opposite. They desperately want to be known and understood by someone. And the need to go to every party or to be on every little bit of gossip at school is lost on them. See, guys, most high school drama stems from one of these two fears. Either people are getting their feelings hurt because they feel excluded and don't want to be alone, or people fear not being truly known or understood. For the example, the very idea that someone would lie about something this person had said, it would cause them to stress out. Or having someone assume something about them that was just simply not true would really drive them nuts simply because that person did not take the time to understand who they are. See, guys, all this drama is what makes the high school year so memorable. But those two fears of being alone and not being understood never stop. They're baked into our beings. They're baked into the human experience. In fact, they even show up in our relationship with God. Have you ever felt like God has left you all alone? Or maybe you felt like he didn't understand what you were really going through? So you guys, maybe you've been praying for something every single day, but it seems like God's not there, like he's not answering you, like you're all alone. Or maybe you're struggling with something that's really painful and you can't possibly believe that God can understand how much it really hurts. He doesn't understand how bad it is, because if he did, he would do something to change your situation. If this is you today, if you are experiencing the overwhelming fear of being alone or misunderstood, I'm so glad you joined us, because today we're going to talk about how to deal with these strong emotions. See, guys, the beautiful thing about being a follower of Jesus is knowing that he provides for us. He provided for us a way to live our lives in service to others by doing so with his life while here on earth. He provided for us a way to come back to God after sin entered the world by dying for us on the cross. And Jesus provided for us a way to not be alone or to spend our entire lives being misunderstood. He provided this by sending his Holy Spirit to live within us. Jesus' disciple John tells us so. See, John was a follower of Jesus and was someone who saw Jesus perform all the miracles that we've heard about. John was someone who actually saw him heal all the sick people that we've read about. See, guys, John was there the night Jesus died on the cross. John got to see with his own eyes Jesus rise from the dead and ascend into heaven. And in order to help us navigate these feelings and emotions, I want to discuss an event John recorded from Jesus' life while he was here on earth. I want to discuss what John wrote regarding a conversation Jesus was having with his closest followers. It's fascinating to look at this because it shows Jesus knew you and I would be facing the battle we would be facing when dealing with the fear of being alone and being misunderstood. See, Jesus knew a time was coming when he would no longer be with his disciples physically. So he prepared them for this time by telling them that he would be sending his Holy Spirit to be with them at all times. Jesus says in John 14:25 through 27, all this I have spoken while still with you. But the advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything that I have said to you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. See, Jesus was talking about the third person of the Trinity, the Holy Spirit. Jesus went back to be with the Father. When Jesus went back to be with the Father, the Holy Spirit would come to be with Jesus' followers, us, you and I. This is a promise to those who believe in Jesus and follow Jesus. See, the Trinity can be kind of confusing and an idea to understand. A simpler way for me to think about this and who the Trinity is like this. See, I am a husband, a friend, a coworker, a small group leader, a son, a brother, a dad, yet there's only one of me. In different situations, I am referred to in different terms. My son calls me dad, my wife calls me husband, you guys call me a small group leader. Greg calls me awesome, but that doesn't mean that there's different versions of me walking around. No, in different situations, I just play different roles. In the same way, God the Creator is different than Jesus the Son, and they're both different than the Holy Spirit, but they are all part of the same God. See, guys, Jesus knew that we would face times when we felt alone, and he knew we needed someone who understood us. That's why he sent us the Holy Spirit. So the next time we feel like God doesn't care about us, or that he can't possibly understand what we're going through, we can remember this. A part of God is within us, always. So back to our verse. What does it say this new thing the Holy Spirit is going to be doing for Jesus followers exactly? It actually breaks down three powerful things that the Holy Spirit does for us. The first thing it does is advocates. He comes alongside us to comfort and defend us. The second thing that it does, it teaches us and reminds us. He reminds us of the things of when we need them and where we need them. That memory verse, that comfort, that promise. The third thing it does is it gives us peace. He gives us uncommon rest and comfort in times of trouble and sorrow. How amazing is that? The eternal, all-powerful God lives inside you and is always guiding and directing you. Sometimes we're just too busy to slow down and listen to his prompting. It's crazy for me to think that the Holy Spirit of God lives inside me. Guys, I sometimes struggle to realize this. But to be honest, I see the Holy Spirit working within me most when I look back at certain feelings and thoughts and ideas I've had during certain situations. I think about the strong, overwhelming feelings of compassion I had for some random homeless guy in Austin. I didn't know this guy. So it didn't make much sense why I had such strong feelings of sorrow for him until I realized that it was the Holy Spirit saying, hey, I need you to help that guy. As I see the Holy Spirit working in my life, when I think about the peace I felt when my grandma died this past May. In what should have been the most saddest day of my life, all I can remember thinking is that she is okay and is now home with Jesus. I realized that the Holy Spirit was giving me comfort and reminding me that grandma was in heaven. See, guys, Jesus knew that we would battle the feeling of being alone. He knew that you and I would struggle to feel understood by those around us. Jesus knew the pain and emotions, the pain that these emotions would cause us. So he sent his Spirit to live within us. Know that in moments when you feel alone and misunderstood, all that you have to do is call on the Holy Spirit to remind you that you are not. Let me pray. Dear God, thank you so much for choosing me, for using me to speak these words. I pray that you guide me and glorify yourself through me tomorrow. I pray that this video reaches those who need to hear your words. Thank you so much.